Hey everybody, it's Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Today, we'll be taking a look at the flaming Pokemon known as Hihidaruma, and this video will be brought to you in two parts, with the second part focusing entirely on its ability Daruma mode. But let's get started right now by taking a look at its typing, abilities, and stats. So first off, this Pokemon is a mono fire type, meaning that it has standard fire type weaknesses and resistances. It does also mean that it takes increased damage from stealth rocks, so that is something you need to be aware of as you use this Pokemon. As for its abilities, the first ability it gets is known as Encourage, and this is the one that we're going to be focusing on for this part of the video. Encourage is a new ability added into this generation that increases the power of moves that have a secondary effect by 1.3. And secondary effect essentially is defined by anything that will either negatively hurt your opponent, such as a flinch or a defensive drop or something like that, or any effect that would increase your own stats. For example, this Pokemon gets Nitro Charge, and if it uses Nitro Charge with the Encourage ability, you don't get the speed boost that Nitro Charge would normally give you. Unfortunately, though, you still get the stat drops that are characteristic of moves, so this Pokemon also learns Hammer Arm, which lowers your speed by one stage every time you use it. That drop still occurs, so really it's only things that are beneficial to you or hurtful to your opponent, so just be aware of that. As for its stats, it gets 105 HP, which is really good HP. Unfortunately, though, it has horrible defenses with 55 defense and 55 special defense. So this HP will allow it to take more hits than normal Pokemon that have similar defenses, but it's still not going to be that bulky in the sense that it'll be able to be switched in without having to worry about taking a lot of damage from your opponent. As for its physical attack, it is at a incredibly high 140. Meaning that this Pokemon can reach upwards of over 400 attack, and that makes this Pokemon probably one of the most powerful physical attackers in the game, which is absolutely amazing and why this Pokemon is so hyped up about when the stats and abilities and things like that first came out. On the other hand, though, its special attack is only 30, so obviously you're not going to be using any special attacking moves with this form of this Pokemon. Lastly, it gets 95 speed, which is okay. And the reasoning why it's okay is because there are plenty of things that can outspeed it and kill it easily because of its low defenses. But 95 speed still is quite a bit in the grand scheme of things, but since in OU environments, generally they're dominated by really fast Pokemon, so this Pokemon really won't have as great of an effect as it would normally have, because of the fact that its speed isn't like 100 or above. And the reason why I didn't mention Daruma mode when I was talking about the abilities is because that's what part 2 of this video will be about. But right now, let's get started with the first set in this video. So first for this set, we're going to be using a Jolly Nature to increase Hihidaruma's speed but decrease its special attack. And then we're going to be using the ability Encourage to increase the power of the moves we're going to be using that have a chance of a secondary effect occurring. As for the EVs, 4 are going to be put into HP, 252 into attack to give you your highest attack possible with the Jolly Nature, and then 252 for speed to give you your max speed possible. The item for this set is going to be a Life Orb, and I know I've said in other videos that I really don't like using it because of the negative effect it has on your HP, but because of the ability Encourage and a recent discovery that was found out, Life Orb recoil does not occur if you're using a move that would be boosted by Encourage. So for the first move in the set, Fire Punch, that move has a chance to burn. So that means with Encourage it won't burn, and at the same time it'll get a boost from Encourage, and because it's getting that boost, Life Orb will deal no recoil but still give you a boost from Life Orb. I don't know if that was confusing to explain it, but basically it just powers up your moves even more and gets rid of the fact that you would normally take recoil, which is an excellent asset for any Pokemon that has Encourage. The next move in this set is going to be Rock Slide, as just a powerful Rock-type move. It's going to be used over Stone Edge just because of the Encourage boost it gets, which will make it more powerful than Stone Edge, I believe, and it's more accurate, so that's always great. Next, we're going to be using Level Ground, and this is essentially the Earthquake of the set. Normally this move has 60 base power, but with Encourage it has 78. And with the Life Orb increase, it'll have 101, which is 1 point more than Earthquake actually has, and you take no recoil from it. So it's really up to you if you want to use Earthquake but take Life Orb recoil, or if you want to use Level Ground and take no recoil but have a slightly less powerful ground move. And then lastly, we're going to be using Superpower as just a really powerful fighting type move. And Encourage will not prevent the drops in attack and defense from occurring, and Life Orb recoil will occur with this move, unlike the other three in the set. So that's just something to make note of as you're trying to attack your opponents with a set like this. But overall, this is probably its most attack power-based Encourage set that it can use if you want to be allowed to switch moves, which you won't in the next set, which is either going to be Choice Scarfed or Choice Banded. So in this Choice Banded set, or Choice Scarfed set, we have two different options for our nature, which can be used in combination however you want with either of the choice items. Adamant will increase your physical attack and lower your special attack, whereas Jolly will increase your speed but lower your special attack. So basically, if you want as much power as possible, you would go Adamant Banded, and if you want as much speed possible, you'd go with Jolly Scarfed, and then you can mix it up either way. Both are really effective because of this Pokemon's ridiculously high physical attack, so it really is your personal preference. Again, we are going to be using the ability Encourage, and also the same EV spread as in the previous set. The moves, however, will differ a little bit. This time, instead of using Fire Punch, we're going to be using Flare Blitz, because obviously that will be doing as much damage as possible. And a Choice Banded Flare Blitz on a max attack Hihidaruma pretty much can tear through everything in the game, and I'm not even kidding about that, because Flare Blitz also has a chance to burn, so it does get the Encourage boost as well. Unfortunately, though, recoil is not removed because of Encourage, so with the fact that you'll be doing a ton of damage with this incredibly powerful move that also gets stab, you will be taking a bunch of recoil from it as well, so that's just something to make note of with that move. Again, we will use Rock Slide, and then this time we're either going to use Earthquake or U-Turn. And the reason why I paired U-Turn with Earthquake is because I feel like the type coverages by Superpower are significantly better than the type coverages of Earthquake. So you can either pick between one of the two. U-Turn's a great move if you want to scout, and it'll also do a decent amount of damage, seeing as it'll be able first to hit grass types and psychic types and dark types for super effective damage, so that's always a plus. And also it allows you to switch out and save him for later if you want to use it. Otherwise you can go with Earthquake to just have the raw power you want. And lastly, Superpower will be the fighting type move of choice for the set, just because of how powerful it will be after the Band or Scarf or the Adamant Nature and yada yada yada. You know what I'm talking about by now. But basically, this first part is over now, so check out the next one, which I will hopefully have up right as this one goes up. But just to summarize everything, Encourage Hihidaruma is very powerful, and it learns a bunch of moves to make use of the Encourage ability, and you will probably be able to destroy a ton of different other opponents that you face because of how powerful this Pokemon is. So with that, stay tuned for part 2.